Welcome to the Positively You podcast. I'm your host, Jessie Larson, and I'm passionate about helping you shift the way you think so you can create a life you're absolutely obsessed with. Each week, I'll be bringing you a guest or a thought that's going to help you feel more optimistic and equipped to take real action. Get ready to push past limiting beliefs, ditch that negativity, and start showing up as the best and most positive version of you. Girl, let's do this. Welcome back to another episode of the Positively You podcast. I'm super excited to be hanging out with you today. As I'm recording this, it's a very cozy, snowy day. So I am curled up with my fuzzy socks. I've got my beanie on and just having a very, very cozy day, especially after my morning that did not feel very cozy because I was out in the snow driving kids to and from school and things like that. And the roads were not exciting. They were not great. They were very icy. And something that I talk about a lot on here is being proud of yourself for the big things that we do in our life and also for the very, very little achievements and celebrating those and making sure that we're recognizing all of our small wins. So for me today, that is driving in the snow. That is a huge win for me. Over the past couple of years, I slid a couple of years ago and hit my car into a curb, and it was a whole thing. And since then, I've been very, very nervous and really not wanting to drive in the snow. Luckily, I have a husband who works from home. So on those days, he's sometimes been able to drive the kids to school. So I actually took them today, and I'm very, very proud of myself for doing that. So if you have a win that you have today, whatever it is, as small as that little achievement could be, I want you to pat yourself on the back, give yourself a little hug, give yourself thumbs up, whatever your thing is, high five. Be proud of yourself for whatever those achievements are, which is leading me into what I want to talk to you about today. Before we get there, one item of business. Next week is our virtual book club meeting for the book club. So if you are like listening and don't know what I'm talking about, the Positively You book club this year is where we are reading one book every month. So we'll finish the year with 12 books, and we have a virtual meeting the last Thursday of every single month where you can come in, we can chat and have a live discussion about the book. So this month for January, we're reading The Kindness Method by Shahroo Izadi, and absolutely loving the book. I've had some really good feedback from a couple of you already. Getting very excited for our discussion. I'm flying through the book. I've got 10 minutes left on the audio version, and then I'm going to hop back to probably the regular and go through all of the exercises and practices that are in there. So very, very excited. It's been a good read, and I'm excited to chat with everybody about that. If you're not already signed up or know what's going on, hop over to Instagram. I'm positively.jessie over there. There's a link in the show notes below to just click, and there's information there, or you can go to jessielarson.com. There's a big red button right at the top there that you can join the book club as well, and links are in the show notes below. So get reading, and even if you don't read the book or haven't finished it, hop into the book club. It's going to be a good time. So getting those things out of the way, let's talk about the topic for today, which is in line with what I just said, being proud of ourselves and the kindness method, kind of coming into play with the setting of the goals and the New Year's thing, right? We're kind of over that a little bit, which last week, I believe it was a couple days ago, is called National Quitters Day, I saw, which was like, it's when everyone has given up on those. And obviously what we want here at Positively You is not to fall off the wagon, to not have these things where you feel bad about yourself and you feel shame. And it's just this never ending cycle of like getting back on and doing better and feeling bad about you not achieving the things that you want to. We want the opposite of that, obviously. And something that I preach here and that I've loved about the book that we've been reading this month as well is those small wins. So like I said, being proud of yourself. Now, my goal is not driving in the snow or whatever, but those little things. If you go back to the very first episode of this podcast, it talks about a small thing that you can do that's a win every single day. And that was my goal back in 2019 when I was having a real hard time with anxiety and with panic and just a lot of stuff going on. I needed a win. I needed to feel confident. I needed to have a goal that I could achieve that was like not easy, but like I needed a win every single day. And that's when I started making my bed. I said, I'm going to make a goal to do this. And I did. every single day for a full year. I did not miss a day. That included if I was at like a hotel or away from home, I would make the bed because it was part of my habit, part of my goal, part of my practice. And I set that goal because it was a win that I knew I could count on, right? It was something that even on my worst days, even when everything else went wrong, even if I was feeling sick and stayed in bed all day, like I could still kind of like pull up the things and make it and be like, made my bed today. And those are the kinds of goals and like habit changes that I want to focus on, that I invite you to focus on and kind of shift your thinking of. Because as you do that, it builds confidence in yourself. It builds trust in yourself. And those are the things that are going to keep you going as your goals get bigger and harder, because then your brain has that proof of like, I do this though. Like I can do the things that I say I'm going to do. I am someone who achieves the goals that I set. And so you set these little ones, like making your bed every day. I cannot put into words the like chain effect that has had in my life. And I didn't set out for it to do that. I really was just like, I need to get my life more together. I need to do something to calm this anxiety. And that was a task that I had. And it was a win, and it built that trust. It built that confidence. And I've been building off of it ever since then. So as you're thinking, what kind of changes do you want to make this year? What kind of shifts is it that you're wanting to do? Going literally as small as you can and thinking like, okay, if this is the goal, can I do this every single day, even on my worst days? And if I can't, what's a smaller version of that I can do every day? So even saying like, okay, is it exercising every single day or whatever? What's the smallest version of that I can do every day? Is it like 10 minutes of movement? Is it going outside, right? And you make it just the smallest version so that you can hit the goal. And then anything above and beyond that is great, but you're hitting that goal and solidifying that win for yourself. So think about it. Think about what you can do to make your goals smaller. I realize that might not be the messaging that we're hearing all over the place, but I love this. And it actually does really, really well go hand in hand with the Kindness Method book that we're reading for book club this month, about being kind to yourself and about setting yourself up and for the success, for those wins. So that's the thought and the message that I want to leave with you for this week is setting those small goals and building trust and confidence in yourself. So if you have one of those small goals, I would love to know what it is. You can reply to our weekly email that goes out if you are on the email list. And if not, I would love to hear what you have to say over on Instagram. So on any of the posts about this, come and say hi or drop into my DMs and let me know what your goals are. And if you're having trouble simplifying them and making them smaller, let's chat about that too. I would love to help. So thank you for listening this week. I'll see you next week on the Positively You podcast. Thank you for hanging out with me again today. I'm so glad you pressed play. If you want to take a quick second to share this episode with someone you think would love it too, that would be amazing. If you're loving the show, make sure you go and leave a review on iTunes. Reviews are like magic for podcasts, and your review will help get this show into the ears of more amazing women just like you. And come find me over on Instagram. I'm there at positively.jessie, and I cannot wait to hang out with you some more. So until next time, have an amazing week.